And hello again, everybody, from the national headquarters of RT America. I'm Rick Sanchez. So I want to start with this newscast with a piece of information that was just handed to me within the last 30 minutes or so. It kind of goes like this. If the Ukrainians or neocons or any other group out there was hoping to use this latest incident at sea as a way to drive a wedge between the United States and Russia, it may have worked. President Trump is now saying that he is threatening to cancel. Listen to this. President Trump is now saying he's threatening to cancel a scheduled meeting, with Vladimir Putin at the G20 summit this week in Argentina. Mr. Trump says, and we quote him here, he doesn't like aggression. Speaking of aggression, I want to start with a collision at sea that is an international incident during a conflictive time in foreign waters. See that vessel right there? Take a look at that vessel. That was the John F. Kennedy. It's out of commission. The John F. Kennedy was an aircraft carrier that was involved in a horrible incident that resulted in the deaths of many innocent people in the summer of 2004. The John F. Kennedy collided with a fishing boat, and every person on the fishing boat was killed. In fact, all of the fishermen literally disappeared into the Gulf waters. They were never even found in the middle of the night. And it was explained as either an accident or a possible terrorism threat. Now, I want to read to you how this story was covered by none other than CNN. Here it is. The John F. Kennedy, an aircraft carrier, and a dhow, a small traditional Arab sailing boat, collided in the Persian Gulf. The dhow sank immediately, and all of those aboard are believed to have died. And then it goes on to, quote, saying that it was likely an accident. This is quoting a naval official. But the small vessels could, quote, pose a terrorism threat. See that there at the bottom? Okay, that's how it was covered. The story suggests just an incident at sea, no big deal, nothing to look at here. Aircraft carrier didn't do anything wrong, not even the suggestion that the aircraft carrier could have done something wrong. Okay, fine. Now along comes a somewhat similar story, an incident at sea in the news yesterday. In this case, it's a Russian naval vessel, collides with a Ukrainian vessel. The Russians are saying the Ukrainians deliberately came into their territorial waters and were warned before finally they had to take action, and they took some of these guys into custody. The Ukrainian government is saying that is not so. The Russians just took it upon themselves to be aggressors. Okay, two stories, fine. So it's another incident at sea and a dispute as to who did what to whom, and in this case, nobody died. All right, let me read to you how this story is reported, okay? This is by NBC. Russian forces, this is the headline. This is the headline of the story. This is how they start the story. Russian forces shooting at and seizing a neighbor's vessels. Ukrainian sailors wounded and detained, and yet another political crisis between Moscow and the West. This is the write-through that NBC put out. What happened? Sunday, Russian forces shot at and seized 3 Ukrainian vessels, injuring as many as 6 crew members. A total of 24 sailors detained at a nearby port. The Ukrainian vessels were attempting to pass through the Kerch Strait, a narrow artery linking the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. Now, you'll notice in the story that I just read you, there's not even one tiny hint, not even a little tiny mention of the Russian version of events. 2 stories, 2 big ships, superpowers, 2 incidents at sea. They could not have been told any differently. Now, nobody at this point really knows exactly what happened possibly between the Russian and the Ukrainian vessels, just like probably nobody really knew what exactly happened between the U.S. Navy ship and the dhow or whatever it's called, the Persian Gulf fishing vessel. Though, by the way, there are some new interviews today that suggest that the Ukrainians may have actually been in international waters and are all but admitting to it. But forget that. Let's take that out of the picture. Remove that, right? Even without that, shouldn't both sides of the story be told? I mean, should guilt be declared before the evidence is even presented?
This weekend is yet another reckless Russian escalation.
It follows on from Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea in 2014.
Nothing, in our opinion, justifies this use of force.
En particulier la Russie.
Russia must respect the full implementation of the Minsk Agreement.
Et réaffirmer
I'd
fermement.
like to assure Ukraine of our solidarity.
The United States will continue to stand with the people of Ukraine against the Russian aggression.
Those are the diplomats, politicians, right? Everybody has already decided, case closed. Russians are guilty. Look, this is not about taking sides, okay? We're journalists here. It's about fairness. Fairness and balance. You know, that whole fair and balance thing? It's something we don't expect from the politicians. Who does? But we are supposed to expect it from major news organizations, right? I'm Rick Sanchez. This is RT America, and I guess it really is time to do news again.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.